to go here, Nate. Ancient just really does seem like Complexity might be overthinking this one a little bit.
We'll have to see. Are they in their own heads, or are they here to play? Give us a new page in the strat book for them. Either way, paiN Gaming starting on the CT side of Ancient. And Complexity, a rather quick, no-nonsense play towards B, a split PKL spamming the smoke. There's a little bit of chip damage here and there, but these players are wearing vests. They won't take much damage from those bullets. Plant will go down from Grim. And that starts things off now with a potentially incredibly chaotic 5 versus 5 retake.
Yeah, this is going to be pure chaos here. There's a flash and a smoke for paiN to utilize, as well as the kit for PKL. So a Ninja is potentially on the cards, but that time is really ticking fast. And paiN are going to have to hop on their horses here. Grim just sitting behind the pillar on site, trying to get some damage done, but Big Gazetta has knocked down Halzerk first, but Grim on the site, he's not to be daunted. Finally, though, it's Big U with 3, and maybe something more for paiN Gaming. Big U looking for the ace. Now Floppy stops the plan, or disrupts the diffuser, but Big U's picked up the kit, and he should have this one with ease. paiN Gaming do sacrifice the plant, though. They lose 3 players, which means that Complexity have a very good opportunity to force back into round number 2 and try and take the fight to paiN in the early going.
Big Uzera coming up big in the pistol round, not only grabbing the kit for the defuse, also grabbing 4 kills for himself. Using a P2K up close and personal like that is no small feat. Very well done from him to start things off for paiN Gaming. But as you mentioned, it's going to be an investment for Complexity. They're not out of the woods yet. We talked about this in the 9Z game. Winning pistol round on CT side and losing the second round force could spell disaster for your CT side start.
Yeah, that would not be a very good start. If Complexity are able to put up 5, they'll be fine. 6, 7... it just gets really, really dangerous here. We'll see what Complexity can do, but I think a big part does come down to what they can do in this round alone. If they can't, then paiN will have a much easier time of it. Big U just spamming away, looking for the kills, and there he goes. Finds it onto Floppy. There's the opening pick for paiN Gaming. They will just reset. Big U will not overextend. JT tries to get the trade a little bit late, and he is a bit too late to the party. He gets bounced at the door, and we'll have to try another entry point. Complexity kind of just stalling out, waiting for aggression, though, from paiN, but that aggression's not coming forth from the Brazilian squad. They're just going to hold their line and wait for Complexity to come to them.
They got the advantage. They've done the hard work. They know it's an investment, but it's kind of a wishy-washy one, with that deagle, of course, on JT being the important factor there. FaNg, though, lurking up middle, takes lots of damage, but he'll get a kill. Now paiN have to question where these players might be lurking, and that gives JT and his teammates some room to work with. paiN Gaming falling completely away from B and giving an opening, an opportunity. Grim lurking forward, finds the opening. That Hero AK does strike, and now Complexity have the advantage 4 versus 3. The question is, do they have the post-plan setup required? No utility. It's going to have to be duels alone. Halzerk gets in towards the hall there, gets out of the danger zone. Grim, though, again, back of sight, has a lot to do here. This is a very dangerous spot. Have to try to dance between 2 different sight lines. Skulls might be his first victim here. They only have the MP9 in his hands, but the shot does not land. Instead, it's his teammate to peek. Grim finds a trade. JT a second, and Grim, combined with JT, caps off the round. They recover some rifles as well. JT grabbing that Galil. Complexity quickly clap back, and this is what we're talking about. This is where things could already get dicey for paiN Gaming. Their economy is now reset. Do they go for the force buy? They probably do, given they only have 1,500 in the bank. And this could open the floodgates for Complexity. This could get them on the board with a pretty decent advantage very quickly.
It's the classic buy till you lose 2 in a row strat coming in from paiN. So they're going to go in with the Deagles, the CZ, and the P250. 3 smokes, no kits, armor across the board. Would have liked a flash more than the smoke, though. Or even, say, a couple of nades, gone for a nade stack. But Complexity do know they're up against pistols, regardless of whether or not paiN force into the round. Big U just making noise. That'll bait out some utility. I don't think I've ever seen a spray used like that to just bait out utility. And I like that idea. It burns a Molotov from Complexity, and it just gives Big U a little information that, hey, there's people here on Snake. So maybe I could shoot and get some damage done. He's trying that. But it hasn't come forth just yet. Complexity still with that heavy B lean.
Big U has had some good luck with the spam as well. We saw that M4 spam in the round prior. Didn't get his team across the line, but, you know, any damage is good damage after all. paiN Gaming, a much more direct approach to B this round. They're on pistols. They are going to take a 3-person lean here. All on the side as well. Not very far away. And the fourth is coming in as well. Skulls has rotated in. They're going to try and hold this site come hell or high water. They're going to hold it down. Floppy. In the meanwhile, will lurk in the middle. In fact, Complexity have made the read. They're just pulling a rotation. They're already back around, pushing into Donut. Hardzow now has a hard proposition ahead of him. He'll get one. That's really the best odds he had to find. Multi-kill maybe, but realistically, not a possibility. Grim finds a second. And Complexity should have this round as a result.
Flop with the Galil will spam down one more. Grim's just hunting for more kills, though. He wants to be the highest rated player at the RMR now. He wants to be top dog. He got a top 10 finish at Pro League. He wants a little bit better now. Zevi and Big Uzet are the last ones alive. It wouldn't be a bad idea to save the armor and the deagles at this point. If you are paiN Gaming, just take these guns into the next round, try and do a little more damage with it instead of going in USPs. So that seems to be the call here for paiN, but Halzerk is on the flank. Not his typical weapon of choice. Galil in his hands instead of the op. But he's not going to overextend either. It's a good balance here from both sides. Neither team trying to give the early advantage. And Halzerk will actually get a free kill onto Big U. So only one gun will be brought over. It's the deagle and the armor for Zevi. But once the op does come out for Zevi, this is where he will come alive and where paiN will start to grow a little bit more. Zevi is a very good operator. He hits the shots he should be hitting, and then he hits a couple more. So Complexity need to stack up what they can before Zevi gets a big green gun.
Yep, take every round you can. This is a rather CT-sided map. That op is an ever-present threat across the map, so take what you can get here, Complexity, before the going gets really tough. It's going to be pistols here. That one deagle on Zevi, as we mentioned before, in the essentially not a 1v5, but he does have his teammates on just USPs. He's the only real hope of finding an outright one-on-one duel. And Complexity, just play the round as they wish. Don't give anything away. Stick together, and this round should be theirs.
Halzerk going for the spam. It will not connect onto anybody. Just the deagle and the P2000 for paiN as well as the USP. Zevi eats a little bit of nade damage, make him a little more squishy. Grim looking for another multi-kill round, trying to scale on towards the site. Clearing out the angles, the flashes will spur on the take. And Big O has a gap in the smoke he can potentially exploit. JT taking a lot of damage as well. Has to be careful not to give anything over to the side of paiN. Halzerk will get the bomb down, and he will be the one stuck behind the pillar this time. A position we've seen Grim at a couple of times, but Big U is removed by Grim, hitting all the shots as he possibly can. And the former Liquid Man is showing why he was such a high target for Complexity when he did go on the market. And Zevi down at 21 HP. At this point, if paiN really want to go for it, they can, but you're just going to basically give kill reward over to Complexity.
It's funny, the name of the game is Eggs. Just doing any damage you really can. They don't have much to save, just that one set of Kevlar perhaps on Zevi. It's the only thing they can really scrape through this round if they want to go for the save, and I don't think they're rather keen on doing that. Halzerk and Grim combined for a pair. Zevi will save the Kevlar for the following. That will make his investment just a little bit more possible. He doesn't have enough for the op, though. Nobody does on his team, so it's going to be at least another couple of rounds before we see that big green on the CT side.
It's a problem for paiN, and it gives Complexity a little more room to wiggle. Now, we haven't really seen too much tactically out of Complexity yet. It still is early days on the map, and they haven't gone up against a full buy prior to this. It's been pistol, force buy, and then the anti-half, the anti-force, and then the anti-eco. Complexity will now finally get to show us what they're made of. FaNg gets mollied back away, and Halzerk boosted up. If PKL overextends, he does, but he just takes a diggle peek. It's going to be a little bit for Halzerk to hold, but if he was holding the pixel angle, he would have had the opportunity. Instead, the flick not going to connect. Complexity, though, with a bit of information out towards mid, and a little more probing in towards B. Big Uzet going to spam, though. That's going to reveal his own position. He's taking some damage. Might have been the op shot from Halzerk through the wall that took Big Uzet down to 52 HP. Complexity are very slow on this map on the T side so far, taking it nice and easy. And as the song says, it's a slow ride. Take it easy.
Taking it incrementally, I would say. And they're slowly clearing out the top of this ramp here towards B. They throw in the Molotov over towards Jaguar, force Big U away, and they slowly begin to probe towards middle for donut control after those smokes fade. It's just kind of a methodical approach to this map. A little bit robotic thus far, I would say. Just standard procedure. Nothing crazy thrown in. No fancy footwork required as of yet.
Look how much utility they have. Both teams.
Kind of down to nothing. We have one smoke a nade and a flash between both teams.
Yeah.
There's no real chance for a take here. There's just be one smoke there. And now they have to go for the take. That leaves PKL a big window to catch players as they cross into the site. And so, Complexity, no, they have to go for the duel here. JT doing lots of damage, but it is floppy to find the opening. JT a second, and there we go. We were worried about the utility, the lack of a second smoke for this take, but it still pays off perfectly fine. They take lots of damage, sure, but they have gotten themselves a two-person advantage. paiN Gaming now have to make the difficult decision. Do they even attempt this? Given the circumstances, it doesn't look like they will. FaNg is on the flank, though. He went in the donut. He's going to blindside them. 2 kills for the price of none, and he's looking for the third as well. He already knows where he is as well. Zevi will survive for the time being, but at this point, it is a fight for survival, not a fight for the round. He'll find one. He'll catch Grim eagerly hunting, but now they know where he is. Now they begin to collapse on him. How do they? FaNg will go for the challenge, and he will win it. There we go. Complexity. An aggressive hunt and an aggressive victory. 4-1 already. We mentioned 5, and they'll be fine. We're still not even halfway through this first half, and they have 4.
Yeah, and there you have a prime opportunity for a 5th as well. It's going to be a minimal investment from paiN, and a timeout should be coming forward from the Brazilian squad going into the next round. It'll be pistols here, maybe a P250, Deagle, a CZ, some upgrades here and there, but not really much. Yeah, a couple of 5.7, 1.57, 3 Deag, 4 Deagles, and a nade. A vest on Bigazetta as well. Zevi should have enough for the op in the following round, too, which will be a big boost to paiN. But that also lets halzrk have a little more fun, because with the op against the rifles and the pistols, it's not really like he's going to have too much to do until things really get going. JT trying to probe up through the B site. Contact play in, a bit of utility to back up the in-game leader of Complexity, but Floppy will have to trade him out as Zevi landed the 5.7 shot onto JT. Molotov to clear out an angle to force away anybody trying to push or separate them from their teammates, and Complexity will just fall away in the 4-on-4. Gun is recoverable, though, for paiN, I believe. Yeah, Zevi's got it in his hands, and that'll probably go over to Big U, as he does have armor here, and there's a rotation back to the A side from the CT side.
Big U is low, though, so Zevi might be more inclined to keep the weapon for himself. Skulls just dancing around the site, looking to get on the board, and there we go. Nice shot on the Grim. Now things get a little bit worrisome. If they fall at a donut, that could be another recoverable rifle. And that's where things really begin to get dicey, where things could really snowball in favor of paiN. Complexity, a quick adjustment, now rotating over towards B. This is the right call, but paiN Gaming are reading it quickly as well. They have a player now back behind Big U's there, and Zevi is here as well. Zevi, though, falls. Big U as well. FaNg and Floppy close the window opportunity right on those players' fingers. Skulls, though, full blind. Another deagle shot for him, even on low HP. This is becoming more and more doable. I say that, though, and FaNg drops one. That leaves just Skulls, the player I mentioned before. 2 deagle kills to his name. With no HP, it just truly seems impossible. halzrk puts him down with a heavy bullet for good measure from the op. And Complexity secure that coveted 5th round we mentioned. This is where the going gets tough, though, for this T side. This is where paiN Gaming pull out all the bells and whistles. All the stops are being pulled, as they have rifles across the board, good utility, a kit at least on Skulls, and of course that big green on Zevi. This is where paiN Gaming make their stand. And if they don't, this is where things could quickly run out of control in favor of Complexity.
Yeah, paiN need to pick this round up, but FaNg will get the opening duel hards out, going aggressive down middle. There's a gap in the smoke, and FaNg will exploit. The flashbang came through to it. It did blind both players, but FaNg has the angle, and now here's the Opper's duel, potentially. halzrk into the scope of Zevi, who's holding the line towards Donut. No utility over top, and actually it's just another boost for halzrk, who might get the option. Oh, Zevi, he's getting a little antsy. He spots out one, and halzrk is finished off, but now Complexity can really scale into the site. Floppy's going to hold the lurk towards middle. Nades and Molotovs will finish off Zevi. He burns alive. Floppy knows nobody's coming through the A main side of things. It's going to be a donut rotation. A Molotov into there as the timing is called, and the bomb will go down on the A side of things. paiN need to make a decision fast. Do they stay or do they go? If they stay, it could be trouble. If they go, it'll definitely be trouble too. But JT and FaNg will push on through. Of course, the issue, but Skulls has brought it back and make it a double for him. But can they stop the flop? That's the question.
The flop in towards Donut. Spots one, takes him down. Spots the second as well. And I believe the bomb is planted for him to boot. Floppy in a very good spot now to win the clutch. This team has set him up well. They might have pressed forward a little bit abrasively and lost some of the duels, but in the end, it is still a Complexity victory nonetheless. Flop pulling off the 1v2, getting a kill and forcing Skulls away. The op will be recovered, though, for the CT side, giving them something to latch onto for hope in the following, but still, this has been a complexity map through and through as of thus far.
I question the pick in the early going, and I'm still not sold. Statistically, the complexity T side is vastly superior to their CT side on this map in the 4 maps they have played prior to today. 56% win rate on T, 36.7 on the CT side. So you see where my apprehension is still here, Nate. Their T side is technically better than their CT side, at least historically. T side's looking good so far, but you need 2 halves of a Counter-Strike game to win it. That's what hurt Imperial. They didn't have enough of a T side.
56% is what? Like 8 rounds out of 15?
They're
Probably
about
on average 8 or 9. Complexity's well on their way to that. So if they can get 10, I would say they're in a good spot. And I think they picked this because they've shored up some of their weaknesses. I said, what if they did pick it because they've been working on this? They've been brewing something up in the practice. And of course, it looks like they have. Again, they're not out of the woodworks yet, given those stats, given those rather worrisome stats as well. You don't typically expect a team to be T-sided on Ancient, but who knows? The latest additions, the latest changes might spell good fortune for them going into their CT side. Either way, Skulls is the one to open it up yet again. He's been a rock for paiN Gaming. He'll find the opening towards middle. Zevi, though, does not succeed with the op. Big Uzera, though, on the CZ will. He'll find 2 before he's caught reloading, and that is a big boon of kills in the favor of paiN Gaming. They have the advantage, and they still have some rifles in their arsenal as well. They have the op on PKL, they have the M4 on Hardzao, and they have a CZ on Skulls, along with the kit. This is very doable for paiN Gaming now, and this would be quite the round to win.
FaNg's very wounded, but they pumped the brakes at the right time. Halzerk does a big one onto PKL. He gets swung from the side, though, and FaNg cannot trade. Now he swings out wide, but he is a one-shot, or he's not technically a one-shot, actually. He should be able to survive 1 round from the M4A1S. But he's got a lot of time with a bomb on his back to work. Hardzao, sticking on the B site. Probably just going to hold it. He's going to play the numbers game. He's like, all right, it's just me. I'm not going to get caught in rotation, so I'm going to sit here. If you go A, you go A. Cool. I'll take you on the retake. FaNg will plant for himself in Donut, but he might take the off angle into A main or even push into CT. Yeah, he's going to take the off angle and hold a little more aggressively. He's going to bet that Hardzao will not go all the way through A main. So he's going to hold Temple, just play the sound cues. It's a dangerous game for FaNg, but all he needs is a headshot. This round goes the way of complexity. The tap has been made. Hardzao's gun barrel shows. FaNg knows all the info. He's just playing it smart. And now, he's got it on a plate. 7-1 for complexity. But a scary round for them, considering they were up against a saved op, a purchased M4, and a plethora of pistols.
Maybe the seeds are going for paiN. Maybe they're coming in their own. Maybe they're waking up. Either way, FaNg has had a heck of a start thus far. 12 kills now for him, as he is comfortably in the lead for his squad and the server by extension. 7-1 for complexity, though. paiN Gaming, they're back onto the buy, sure. They have a double up, sure, for Hardzao and Zevi, but can they find the winning recipe? That's the question. They are making some adjustments. They are showing us a dynamic CT side with 2 now in towards Jaguar. That could be a nice little adjustment, but again, complexity have looked so good on this offensive. It's going to take a lot from paiN to stifle this.
And there's the opener. Zevi gets domed by Halzerk on the op. The op sings the opening kill for complexity. JT strikes onto Skulls. PKL sitting in cave will be able to gobble up 1 kill onto the wounded Grim, but JT will trade it. Nice flashbang, bigger there for his following trade, but the subsequent kills just aren't enough for paiN Gaming right now. And there still is the lurk of FaNg. He was nowhere near this take at all, Nate. He was just chilling out towards middle. He actually might get taken out. Yeah, he will. Big U will grab 2, and he's always a big man for the paiN Gaming side. This is a viable 2-on-2 retake now, especially now with Floppy's very low on the spams. But Halzerk trying to be solid. He will strike first, and Big Uzetta is removed. Hardzao falls to Halzerk as well. And it's going to be an 8th now for complexity. They continue growing these rounds, growing their lead. And they're cultivating well, complexity. You said they're on the up and up. I was still dubious about the ancient call. With every round they get, I am less and less so, especially seeing Hauser getting the entry on that round and then the following kills, just backing up his rifles, not really forcing them to peek either. It's a very solid post, and that bodes well for the CT side.
It seems like there are a little bit of cracks showing there in that round for both teams. FaNg jumping up on the flank, totally caught by Big U, who was known to be in the Jaguar. And Halzerk finding the double on the op there. Big U, I believe it was Big U, dropping the M4, or dropping the op for the M4 there in the end. Totally caught unawares by Halzerk, who was swinging in after he killed his prior teammate. So a little bit of a confusion there for both teams, but still more than manageable, all things considered. paiN, though, even on another compromised buy, find a massive opening. Again, these rounds might be going the way of Complexity with some consistency, but they're still expensive. They're still costly nonetheless. Skulls with the AK now finds another. Grim does trade, sure, but paiN still remain in the advantage situation. PKL close the MP9, finds one, catches one of the flames as well. Grim does find the trade, sure, he takes lots of damage. He falls by his own flames. And the Big U Zero with the MP9 caps off the round. That is a round that paiN Gaming needed.
Yep, and it comes off the aggression, too. A little bit of luck with the Molotov running into his own teammate and causing a 1G. But overall, paiN, that was something they desperately needed. That's a shot in the arm to give him some life. And Hardzao should be able to pick up a rifle. Yeah, there's an M4 down on the ground for him. So he'll have a gun to use as well. It's an AK, actually. But Complexity were able to buy up once more, but they've come to the end of their bank name. This could force a bit of a weird proposition for them if they lose this round. FaNg gets spammed down by Skulls. He's really been heating up for paiN as well. One of the two latest additions for the squad, showing up at a big moment here on the big stage of the IEM Road to Rio. And the mid-control for paiN is paying dividends here. Skulls finds JT through the smoke as well. Complexity are collapsing. But they already have 8. That is the one good sign for them.
But again, as you mentioned, their weak side is the CT side. They want to get as many as possible here on the T, and if they lose this, they'll be on a save more than likely in the following. So, lots of implications from this round. Grim boost up doesn't clear the right angle. Hardzao in the off angle finds another. It's just a complete sweep thus far for paiN. 5 versus 2. Floppy and Halzerk left to try and pick up the pieces, and at this point, they might even consider saving. Nade towards the back of sight. Doesn't do too much. Hardzao's kind of rotated around. And these players are just stuck in a choke point now. A trio of players posted on the angle. One holding middle, one holding B as an insurance policy. If Complexity somehow find a way back into this round, it would be nothing short of a miracle.
If they get a couple of kills, it's still going to be good to damage the CT economy. At this point, it's probably more viable to go for the damage. But you need to get a couple of kills. And Complexity theoretically could get the bomb down on the B site if they ran, but it looks like they are going to call the save here. They're going to keep the op for Halzerk, and Floppy will hold on to the AK. JT should be able to get a rifle as well. Loss bonus will be, what, round 3? So, 2,900? If memory serves me right.
Counter-terrorists win.
Let's see.
I'm not the quick maths man. I'm kind of the
Oh,
I am the quick maths.
They only got
man,
second
not
round
the,
loss.
The loss bonus. Only second loss. Oh no.
Yeah.
Not the coveted third. Tight money here. We'll have to see what they go for. They have 2 AKs and op. And we do have a pause called by Complexity. They're first thus far in this one. Probably an apt time to do so. They want to figure out what they want to do. Again, they had those saved rifles, but they also have short money for the remaining 3. So just try to balance it out. Try to figure out what they can do. Looking at paiN, things are beginning to look up, but again, at best, they can get a 7-8 on the CT side. Not the best, in fact, pretty dire in normal circumstances, but they do at least have that hope. The Complexity have yet to shore up their defense. We'll have to see, though. Either way, we're back into it. It's going to be a rather robust investment for Complexity. They've invested completely across the board, pretty much. 2 Deagles, 2 AKs, and the op. Okay utility. paiN Gaming. Far better buy, though. Including 3 M4s, an AK, and the op for Zevi. Halzerk looking to be the difference maker here with the op. Misses the opportunity, though, and that's punished. BKL sprays him down. Big U now collapsing in with Skulls. Floppy will find one shore, but it's quickly traded. And neither of those rifles are recoverable either. That makes things all the more difficult. Hardzao holding down over towards A. We'll find 1 and damage onto the second. paiN Gaming looking to take this round, although Grim is at least going to get a hollow victory with a bomb plant at the very least.
JT's coming through as well. There's a gun to be recovered here. And a smoke for the CT angle. The op's been revealed as well. JT's looking for one of those guns, but he's stuck on a deagle for now. Or wait, no. That was FaNg who died, so it's only... Oh, Grim's got the angle, but he shoots too early! And Skulls will punish him now. JT's only got the deagle because his teammate who died only had one as well. Zevi will put him down. And Skulls will come in with the defuse. 4 rounds now separating these two teams, but only 3 rounds left in the half here. But if paiN can get to 7, they definitely do recover things nicely. And because we've mentioned the stats for complexity on the CT side, subpar at best, paiN definitely do have themselves still a chance here. So if they can get to 7, definitely going to be a lot better. Be a bit of a half buy probably from complexity. A couple techs, Deagle, P250. We'll see what they want to go for pistol-wise. But it's going to be pistols nonetheless. Halzerk saving for the op. And paiN's mid-aggression, their mid and sneak aggression, is really what's been changing the whole scope of this half. Before they were so passive, they just let complexity sit around and set up. But now that they're getting aggressive, taking the initiative, it's working out well.
Yeah, coming to their own, they're getting comfortable. That is the critical factor here. Complexity need to change something up to get them more uncomfortable. Whether that be taking more risky duels or throwing some different utility, I'm not sure. Either way, complexity are really feeling the hurt right now. Deagle's across the board, barring Halzerk, who's on that full save, as you mentioned before. He's saving for that big green. And paiN, they're not worried. Even with the lack of contact being taken, they know the economy of complexity is in a bad way. And so they're more than happy to hold their positions.
The Deagles will be hard-pressed to find the kill. Molotov will go through to stall out more of a mid-push. PKL hunting will be forced away by the flashbang. Does not need it to overextend. A nice shot from JT to trade out Bigu. But here comes Skulls to mop up a couple. A little belabored on the second kill, but I think he'll be fine with that. Stays alive, doesn't take too much damage. JT and Halzerk working around. JT picks up the M4, but he cannot find anything as PKL will grab the brace. But now it's going to be another buy-up from Complexity. Halzerk with the op and plenty of money as well. The AK is across the board. But Complexity, I think, would really like 9. And it's been very difficult for them to counter the mid-aggression of paiN. Unless they can find a way to change that, they are not going to win another round of this half.
FaNg was the critical factor there. He was holding that angle. He won the duel at least once versus Skulls. He had a heck of a start. He won that clutch and got his 12th. And from there, it's been complete radio silence for him. It's now Halzerk's turn to take the laurels of mid-aggressor. He'll find nothing with it. Instead, his teammate now will press forward through the smoke. Risky, but it does work out. At least for the time being, Grim not taken down. And Halzerk does catch Biggie over towards Snake, as you mentioned before. That's a position they love to push, and this time it is indeed exploited. PKL, though, still holding it down aggressively by pushing down that ramp from B. But Complexity do at long last have an advantage here. Grim, I don't know if you can spot the shoulder there. It's a difficult spot. He'll hit the spray down on the Skulls, though, and that furthers the advantage. He spots the other. That's a lot of information now. Complexity, 5 versus 3. They have a tremendous advantage going into the mid-round now. Do they want to go towards B or do they want to go towards A? It looks like B is the name of the game, but they could switch on a dime. Only time will tell.
A little bit of chip damage dealt to the spam, but Complexity do seem to be gearing up for that B end. A little bit of cave control should be gained, but the only problem is Zevi's got the op on the other side of that angle. 2 out of 3 players stacked to the B side here from paiN. Zevi has fallen off of cave. He's gone towards the ramp now in Complexity with about 40 seconds to go. Should be setting up their utility. They have a good amount of it. 4 smokes to work with. Zevi going back on the cave angle. Spots out JT, who just dry peeks wide into the angle, and Zevi will hit that shot every day, and even on Sunday. PKL coming through, just hating around the smoke, but look at this rotation for Complexity. They've spotted the op, and they want nothing to do with it, so they're sprinting back to the A site. It's the proper call, a right rotation, and Hardzow needs 2 to line it up, and he does just that. He's set paiN up for a chance in this round, and bought time for the rotation. Floppy needs this kill, but he will take so much to achieve it. Very low on health, and Zevi has finished off Grim. It's all down to Floppy now. And the old North American saying is you can't stop the flop, but he's on 1 HP. You sneeze on him, and he's going to hit the deck.
He set up in the same spot the last time he pulled off the 1v2, but this one would be a truly Herculean call to order. He found one, but his positioning is known. He has to hit the headshot here, and he just can't hit it. PKL gets the peek, he gets the op as well, and he'll get the defuse to boot. paiN Gaming, a remarkable comeback, a remarkable coming into their own. Overall, 6-8 is a remarkable scoreline given the early deficit, and they are looking and knocking on the door of 7-8 now. And
A
Hard's
line
out,
up
look
there
at that.
for Hardzo.
Yeah, a double there, a lot of damage onto a third. That was floppy, and that's what really cemented the round in favor of paiN Gaming. Despite, again, it was a 5 versus 3, if I'm not mistaken. A very solid start from Complexity is a rather lackluster end.
I mean, they got their 8. They should be fine with that on the T side of Ancient, if their CT side has improved. The only thing is, that's a big if. They don't play the map a lot, but Biggie gets drive-byed by Grim, and we have a round on our hands here. That's the first opening pick for Complexity that we've seen in a while. We'll see if they can work around it. There's double ops in play for paiN as well. Hardzo holding onto the second stick. And their utility has been run rather dry. Hardzo also is using dual Berettas as a secondary pistol, Nate.
They did get the opening last round, don't forget. Complexity did get it, and they still
Oh, yeah,
flipped
that's
it.
right. I forgot about that.
It's hard to remember it when they lose it, which is unfortunate.
because you shouldn't be losing a 5v4.
It was 5v3, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Like it was a remarkable advantage that they just lost, largely to that lineup, as we mentioned before, and of course the op shot in towards Jaguar with no trade possible. So that round only tells us that paiN Gaming still have skin in this round as well. There's no reason to save in one like this. So no matter the deficit, 1v5, 2v5, they're going to be going for it. Again, Complexity still have a lot to do here, especially with PKL up close and personal. That jump spot does not see him, and this should be a nice blindside. Grim, though, does drop Zevi in the meanwhile. PKL has to do a lot. He's found 2, and he's still kicking. That's what's most important. Skulls also chimes in for that lurk. FaNg towards the middle has found no success in recent rounds, and again, the advantage is turned on its head. Hardzo, another. It leaves the flop again in the clutch. 1v3. This would be a Herculean call to order, and Hardzo on the time he catches the player pushing the smoke. It was a hero play for Complexity that does not pay off. 7-8 will be the score. And again, that was another 5 versus 3 squandered. We'll have to see if Complexity can pick it up here in the second half after this short break.
Complexity hit the 8-2, Nate, but they could not get any more. paiN finished with 7, and now they go to the T side. But if you're just joining us, Complexity, they're weaker on the defense, so paiN have an avenue to exploit. I'm Boggs, he's Pineapple Phillips, and this is the IEM Road to Rio Americas. Second round of the Swiss stage, both teams 1-0. Complexity with a 16-5 trouncing of ATK, paiN with an arrow 16-13 victory against Arctic. And it looks like JT is having some problems. We see the admin over there working on his PC. So we will wait for this one to resume, but that gives us a little more time, Nate, to break down what really happened in that map, in that first half, to turn the table from what was Complexity domination into paiN bringing the pain.
Yeah, there was a lot of things to unpack there. I think Complexity, just the novelty of their kind of different approach. They were hitting their shots in the early goings. They really were comfortable from the outset. I think that's a really big start here. They lost the pistol, but still did damage, and then critically won the second. And from there, they really put on the gas. Again, they got that 8-2 lead. That's where things really began to look good for them. But then from there, it seems like paiN just switched. They just suddenly had the read, had the information, and more importantly, won the duel. Specifically, FaNg had a heck of a start at 12 kills by like round number 5 where he got the clutch. And then the brakes were hit quickly by paiN as they just shut him down, whether it be towards middle, whether it be on the lurk. It was Skulls specifically that really started things as the firebrand for the paiN gaming squad, and it really got them started. And that's what gave them a really remarkable bounce back to a scoreline of 7-8. And now, as we mentioned, if history serves us well, Complexity struggle on the CT side. That means theoretically, paiN, with the last 5 rounds behind them in their favor, the win should be in their sails, metaphorically speaking, and they should have a relatively decent advantage going into this T side.
I think so. I think they should have some sort of an advantage. They have the recent momentum, and the pistol round could be a good way to tell how this one is going to sway. Complexity on the CT side now. They will have a kit on JT, a smoke as well. paiN will have a Molotov, a smoke, actually 2 smokes, and a flashbang. So quite a bit of utility picked up for the T side here. So we hop into pistol round. Half number 2 of this best of 1. Grim going full on force down middle, clearing up Snake. He spots nothing. And the A site to kick it off was completely abandoned by Complexity. It is the easier site to retake than B. But Complexity should realize, guys, it's not B. We have everybody here. It's going to be A. And Halzerk is tapping away. He actually does get one through the smoke. So a bit of luck going the way of Complexity. We'll see if the stars continue to shine bright for them. Well, they're not in the heart of Texas anymore, Nate, but they still got that star behind them. And Floppy has got another.
They held their positions. They made sure that paiN couldn't press forward for some solid post plant positioning. Big U, though, with that PD-50, the Super Soldier does get one, but only one. JT and Floppy clap back. It is a 1v4 for Skulls. He was the firebrand that got them started, but he cannot keep them alive here in the pistol round of half number 2. It is Complexity to take it, to extend their lead now to 2 rounds, and if they can convert that pistol round victory, they will be off to a solid start on that CT side. But that is a big if. We saw them counter the victory from paiN Gaming in half number 1 with a force buy, and paiN Gaming are going to try to do exactly the same here in half number 2.
They got 3 AKs, a deagle for PKL, and for Zevi. So 2 players will sacrifice the armor. 3 players will get the buff of the AK and a bit of utility as well. 3 flashbangs, 2 smokes, and 2 Molotovs. Zevi will hold on to a large supply of utility. And paiN look content to let Complexity come to them, but Complexity know they're on the CT side. They don't need to push. I say that as JT is jiggle picking very aggressively with a smoke prepped for the B ramp play. But the bomb is hedged over towards the A side, that side of middle. And Complexity have Grim just tentatively holding, much like Halzerk in the last round. JT plays with fire. He gets singed, but he does not get fried. Still got plenty of time for paiN to work around. The only thing is, they are segmented, but there's no real spear. There's no wedge that Complexity can drive through this paiN side.
There's a lot of different players in a lot of different locations. Mid control now being taken. FaNg smoked away. I highlighted he had 12 kills at the start of like round 5, and he has been quiet ever since. I hate to single him out like that, but this would be a big opportunity for him to come alive. That being said, the opening duel is towards the B ramp. It is the M4 to strike first for JT, taking down PKL. And despite the early losses, paiN will not be turned away. They're going to stick around nonetheless, and they're going to try their chance. Big U in towards Jaguar, wants to be the starter, wants to be the spear point you mentioned before, but the players fall away at the perfect time. Hard down, up pressing forward, sees one, but he needs to do more. Floppy finds one, skull to trade, but Floppy answers in kind. Big U doesn't find anything either. It's Floppy to shut things down in its entirety. 3 kills for him. Grim caps off the round, and JT opened it. But it is Floppy to really hold it down for Complexity, and they shut down the force by paiN Gaming as a result. Not even a bomb plant for the T side, and that does incredible things now for Complexity going forward.
That's immense for Floppy and company on Complexity. It sets themselves up for an 11th and some more confidence on the CT side. A resident can't stop the flop moment right there. Because he had very little HP in several of those engagements, and he just strikes. Gets the double dinks, goes back for the next, gets the double dinks. The scary thing, too, if you're going up against Complexity, both Grim and Floppy are on form. You have 2 of the best young North American riflers on your team. Grim proving to be on par with the world stage at Pro League. So, if you're up against Complexity, and you see both Grim and Floppy at the top of the scoreboard as they are now, you have to try and find a weakness elsewhere. FaNg has cooled off. JT and Halzerk haven't really had too much to do, although for Halzerk, he had some good impact, especially that 1-3K that helped them win a round on T side. But this is now where it's his time to shine. He's on the CT side now. He can get his op. JT and Grim with a couple of openings. Zevi getting tagged down. Grim looking for more. He's hungry for kills. Doesn't want to let Floppy take his top spot away. But Complexity are looking stable here as they should against the Pistols. Big U with a nasty shot onto Halzerk, but Floppy will answer it back in kind. So in the end, it shouldn't be too much of a fussy round for Complexity. That'll just delay the op coming out for Halzerk for a bit longer, though. Which, of course, you want him to be on the big green as early as possible. Zevi gets mowed down by Grim, and PKL, the Glock, and only a Glock.
Almost
We'll
got
take a
it,
trip
though.
down the river Styx. Yeah, he did get the dink, so it's not that bad.
Got him down to 32. That was a lot of damage done for a Glock. Now, I think 1 loss is more than acceptable. That does allow for the big green to come out without the squandering of a rifle. He does not have to drop a rifle to get that weapon. He instead has his teammate drop it. He already fell in the round prior, so that honestly works out ideally, I would say, for the CT side. 4 players survive. They get the op out in this round, 11-7 at the score, 4 rounds ahead. paiN Gaming, a first real crack at it, but they don't have the big green to try the likes of Halzerk in an even duel.
Yeah, it's good to see him getting the op out early. That really helps out for Complexity. Grim takes so much damage, though, in the initial engagements. He's not the guy you want to see tagged so low. Both him and JT down to 16 and 18 health, respectively. It's so much aggression that Complexity try to take, and it just gets hard countered by paiN.
It's a small price to pay for map control. They're doubling down. They're sticking with it. Even on low HP, they're going to hold these aggressive angles, hold this crossfire.
Look at Halzerk, too.
And Halzerk as well. Yeah, exactly as you mentioned, holding middle, an easy kill onto one. Skulls walked right into it. Grim now, he's compelled 40, still gets the dink though. 51 HP remaining now on Big U, and Halzerk is still not done towards the middle. He'll find another onto Hard Zhao. Floppy grouped up with his teammate, surely won't be expected in that angle. FaNg will get clear, doesn't matter. FaNg still wins the duel, and Floppy swings off contact, finds the second, shuts it down in its entirety. Next to no map control, next to no hope here for Zevi. The Opper with an AK in hand, 1 versus 4. And at this point, the goal is either damage or maybe even saving this rifle, because there's no real chance for recourse in a round like this. There's no real shot.
Doesn't even have the bomb. Does have 1 kill on the FaNg. That'll thin out that CT economy a little bit more. The only problem is, even if they try and save, what's the pie going to be like for paiN in the next round? That'll break the economy. So, paiN kind of just need rounds. I don't think they can really think about the little stuff anymore. The little intricacies like, oh, we should save this round. No, you have to get the rounds on the board now. Complexity up to 12. paiN, you don't have another option. He's going to go for the plant. So I do like this call from Zeb. Never mind, he's got no time. So he's not going to go for the plant anymore. Did try to recover the bomb, though. Did try and give it a shot.
They've heard him. They've heard him run up, and that's the critical factor. Floppy's now eagerly on a hunt, and Floppy could very well find it. He checks the right angle. He wins it. That is a critical kill to find. And Zevi's stuck between 2 alternate, in fact, polar opposite lines of thought there, right? He was following the thought, I'm going to get the bomb plant. I'm going to force them to take me out to prevent me from getting that bomb cache. But at 7 seconds left, he realizes he doesn't have time to. They're just going to wait till after time and take me down as I'm planting it. And he has to save. The issue is all the stomping was heard the whole way up, and that just opens the window of opportunity for Floppy. He finds the kill with relative ease. He clears out the angles as he should have. And Complexity now have a massive advantage going into this one. They've broken the economy of Zevi. That potentially delays the op from coming out even longer. And it makes this piss around even more desperate for paiN Gaming.
Tech 9's Deagle, and the Glock for Zevi. It's a far cry from an op, Nate. It's about as polar opposite of a gun as you can get. The Glock and the op. And for paiN, a 1-1 scoreline going into day 2 is looking more and more likely. No real aggression from Complexity in this round, except a bit of a main holding. In fact, they've given up Donut completely. Grim and JT just holding crossfire in towards a main. One passive hold in middle from FaNg, and then Halzerk just holding an angle into cave. Watches the cross, takes the second shot, doesn't get baited out by the first. Good discipline there from Halzerk. And there's that opening that Complexity would like a little more to have. I mean, it's not really that important on this round, all rounds, but it does help out. Halzerk with the second as well. Making things even easier as the flank is coming through here. Grim coming up from behind and JT coming up through Snake. There is no escape here for paiN. And I like how Grim just goes for the execution there. He doesn't want to get caught out. He wants to guarantee the kill. And he'll grab himself a second. Floppy with the last. 6-round lead for Complexity. Their CT side looks a little more shored up than the stats would suggest, Nate.
It's very dynamic as well. They're changing setups constantly. They're putting the op on different spots, as you should. The op runs rampant on this map throughout, so Halzerk can be very dynamic in that way, but he's also hitting his shots. That's the most important part of this. Very well done from him, and paiN are really feeling the pain now. 13-7, as you mentioned, 6-round lead, and we haven't really gotten a good look at that CT economy, but I can tell you right now, it is booming in a big way. Everybody has, I think, approaching 5 digits, like 8, 9K upper, for sure. More than healthy, I would say, on the CT side. Looking at it now, we do see it. 4.7 for JT, 4.5 for Grim, and 3.7 for FaNg. Those are the low end. Floppy and Halzerk, though, 8.05 and 5.7K respectively. They've already invested as well in this round. They have helmets, Kevlar, kits across the board, utility, you name it, they got it. Complexity is in the best spot possible for themselves. And paiN Gaming don't even have the op. Once again, Zevi has been prevented from getting that due to his death the round before last after time.
He's on a Galil, of all things. Yeah, the Galil's good. But when you have the option for an AK, or you could have had the option for an AK, of course, you want the Kalashnikov. Skulls takes a little bit of nade damage. Halzerk is flirting with death here as he's walking into that crossfire between Grim and JT, both just out of the line of sight. But it's such a deadly little angle that both those two are holding. When they go back and watch this map again, they're going to realize, hey, it's probably a good thing we didn't end up going A, because we would have been mowed down by those guys anyways, but hey, you never know how their end result's going to be. This one still not technically over just yet. We did see a miracle from 9Z, just the map prior. That 14-7, 13-2, 15-10 comeback from the young guns.
2 rounds in a row, though. Flanks 2
Yeah,
rounds in a
twice.
row. This is disrespect, I would say. Grim executing 2 is taking down JT. Will he be expected? Absolutely not. 2 for him, perhaps. He's gotten 1. Doesn't get the second, though. Zevi does find the trade. Zevi, though, is answered. FaNg, finally finds that kill, pressuring in from middle. And that leaves just PKL in the 1v3. Near impossible situation. Complexity, the audacity, the confidence to go for that flank 2 rounds in a row speaks volumes as to how comfortable they are on this map.
Well, because they have all the information, right? They have FaNg. Usually he's the one in middle, in-house, holding the donut cross. Then you have Grim and JT sitting aggressive in A main. There's no reason not to at that point. So they're in a really good spot here. Their CT side is looking incredibly strong, and we just see Grim doing Grim things. It's really good to see Grim fragging out like this, too, at this kind of a stage. He's always been one of those North American guys that you're always like, yeah, this guy's good. This guy's really good. But you were just waiting for him to show it on the big stage. He finally broke that curse at Pro League, and he's just building off of that confidence here at the RMR, just farming, quite literally farming kills right now. And 2 more rounds for Complexity. They go up 2-0, and I believe they would join EG. I don't know if anyone else has completed. Oh, they would join EG9Z, and I don't think the other game is completed just yet. So, oh, JT's got the opener, and Floppy's got an assist on it. Doesn't get any more damage on the spray.
It's good to see Complexity maintain this momentum. And as you mentioned, Grim finding that confidence, finding his groove. His team seems to be feeding off that confidence. Everybody is doing well for themselves. Everybody's playing their part. paiN, this is a compromise buy here. Can't really expect too much. Maybe some damage. Again, the no respect Tech 9 rush does have its place in Counter-Strike for good reason. But that being said, it is a very difficult thing to pull off. Still 5 versus 4 in Complexity. They're not overextending. They're not going for the flank the third time in a row. They're just holding their ground, holding the sights, and waiting for paiN to make the move instead.
Floppy hears the sound cue, hits him with the nade. There's the bomb to drop forward too. He will back out though. It's a wise call by Floppy. Doesn't need to get caught out. Pistol's aggression so very dangerous. Big U will recover the bomb, but he's left alone in a 1-on-5. Halzerk just sending shots across the bow. But I like how Complexity are minimizing their casualties too. They're playing this like they're not up 14-7, but like they're up maybe 1-2 rounds. It's a close game. Because normally you see a team up this much, they would go for the hunt in this situation. But they're not getting undisciplined.
I like the mix. They have the no respect plays. They have that flank that they did 2 times in a row. And now paiN are trying to play into that. They're trying to play into the no respect confidence play, and it's not coming through. It's instead full respect from Complexity. And it totally catches them unaware. It looks like paiN are a bit disheveled as well, as you can tell. There was 1 AK in that round. Big Uzera bought down to 650 in the bank, whereas his team all saved. He's going to have a compromised buy as a result, or presumably have a compromised buy. So paiN Gaming, I'd say dire straits at this point. They'd have to pull off a 9Z level comeback. It was 7-14. It is doable. That's the exact scoreline 9Z required, but paiN Gaming are not 9Z.
And 9Z also didn't let the other team get to match point so early. They got match point first against 0-0 Nation, and then it was 15-10. Skulls goes 1 for 1, but FaNg doubles down. And the mid-scrim works out for Complexity, at least for now. JT catches Big Azetta trying to avenge his fallen comrades. And Complexity are scaling forward, looking like they want to take this one in a 16-7 scoreline with what would be a flawless CT side. Again, their statistics coming into this game, 36.7% win rate on the CT side of Ancient in 4 maps. That one's going to improve after this game today, regardless of whether or not they win this round. Their CT side looks like it's been fixed. Their T side still looks potent. This is a pocket pick for Complexity moving forward.
100% a pocket pick. I love what they have shown us thus far. Their CT side is looking incredibly perfect now, up to snuff, I would say, given the fact that we did think it might be somewhat lacking coming into this one. 2 versus 5 for Hard Zone PKL. Again, no sense in saving. 45 seconds left. They're going to walk into an incredibly potent crossfire here. Floppy and JT are looking to hold it down. PKL's going to walk into it. That's 1 for JT. A second on the cards. Not quite Hard Zone trades, but there we go. Floppy. That crossfire wasn't a crossfire necessarily, but it was a easy trade nonetheless. Very well done from Complexity. Again, maintaining their high form from prior tournaments coming into this one, and they are now 2-0 as a result.
2-0, and the faces are looking jovial. It's been a while since we've seen Complexity look that happy, and it's good to see these guys looking like that. paiN a little dejected. I feel like they should have gotten a little more on that T side. A bit disappointing for them, as a matter of fact, getting 0 on the T side, getting shut out on the offense. But Complexity are looking hot. They are looking spicy, and they are looking for a 3-0 scoreline. Liquid MIBR, as a matter of fact, was in overtime last time I saw. So Complexity waiting to see who else will join them in the 2-0 side. But that's going to wrap things up for the 1-0 side of the Swiss stage, Nate. And Complexity really do put a bow on it.
They really do. Again, a confident victory here. A map that we were not expecting to see and that we were worried about for Complexity. They got the choice as well between the two. I believe it was it Nuke in this map? Nuke. And Nuke on paper is their by far better map. It's also a better map for paiN. So double-edged sword there, but nonetheless a incredibly respectable performance coming in from Complexity. And again, showing us that they are fleshing out their map pool in a big way.
Grim and Floppy really leading the charge. Halzerk had his moments. He was basically just the steady rock that Complexity needed him to be. And for paiN, Skulls did great. Biggie did great.